A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone present here today. A very warm welcome to Old Passion Singapore, Malaysia Global. My name is Jeannie Tan, your host today. Old Passion was formed in November 2020, run by a group of dedicated host team members. We had our first trial webinar on the 23rd of September 2021, and our first public webinar was on the 30th of September 2021 under the mentorship of Dr. Bill Williams. We meet on every Thursday. So the passion of Old Passion is the mission, of Old Passion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture mindset and leadership for passion and oblast, to form passion groups for good causes. And today we have our special speaker, and he's none other than Brother Vittel Smart. Introduce our beloved Brother Vittel. So I would like to say a few words about Brother Vittel. Brother Vittel is a Jamaican residing in Florida, a family man, loving husband and father, a seasoned business owner with 35 years of experience in management, sales, marketing, branding, and patenting, a teacher and team building coach for sales and growth. Record achievement from zero sales to $5 million in 8 years. Wow. And his passion, Brother Vittel's passion is he wants to be remembered as hardworking, loving, caring, and giving people who learns from his mistakes and strives to be a better version of himself every single day. And tonight, he's going to share with us the topic of the fear of failure. So, Brother Vittel, over to you, Brother Vittel. Thank you. Thank you for coming to share with us.
All right. Thank you very much there, Sister Jeannie. I want to say, Sister Mabel, I know you're in the background listening. Speedy recovery, my friend. We are praying for you. Brother Kumaran, thanks for inviting me all to this wonderful Singapore, Malaysia Global webinar. Last time I was here, I brought you the freeze drying technology, how to feed the hungry and starving. I know I'm going to be tackling a topic that is very near to my heart. This is going to be a different type of mindset. I will be telling you how you can specifically tackle the fear of failure. A topic that I think needs to be seriously addressed to all global ambassadors who are getting into business, especially for the first time. I know that you are nervous and anxious, the anxiety steps in, but I'm here to calm you down, calm your nerves, to tell you that there's nothing to fear. Just stay calm. And before I go, Sister Jeannie, I would like to say I want to share my screen. And then we move on after that. So here we go. Okay, you see me now?
Yes, we got it.
All right. The first, I'd like to say, Mr. Asmafari. Without him, we would never be here today. None of us. I know he is recuperating from a minor surgery, and just want to keep him in our prayers. He's going through a little bout with the flu virus. We want to tell him that we're praying for him and we wish him speedy recovery. So we cannot start out any of our webinars without, paying homage to him, Mr. Mafari. He's the one who teaches us never to quit. Either we do or we die. Our CEO is fearless when he's speaking about ONPASSIVE. He said, this is a life's journey. I want you to enjoy it with us, not to look back, not to look around. And I predict that one day, all of us will be reading books upon books about the ingenuity of this man, who despite all his headaches and turbulences, he never quit. This man is our CEO, Mr. Ashmafari. In it to win it. And so the topic that we're going to be kept talking about today is let me go back a little, is failure. And so the big question is, what is failure? Now let us look at the definitions. We've got 3 definitions outlined here. Lack of success or achievement. Yeah, someone consider that failure. Number 2, an economic policy that is doomed. Yes. The inability to meet an expectation. That is considered failure by many people. And so let's look at the fear of failure, which is going to be our topic. And failure is one of the most dreaded words in the English language. Most dreaded. But to expand on it a little, let's say the fear of failure is the most dreaded language for most individuals in any language whatsoever. But it's all starts from the biblical, look at it in the biblical sense. We see that in Luke, we can feel like failures when we lack courage or when we wish we could have spoken up about things, we stayed quiet and we regret it. In Philippians, the Lord upholds all those who are failing and raises up all those who are bowed down. So let's look at the biblical cause of failure. When we don't plan or think ahead, we're going to fail. If we don't plan, if we don't think ahead, we're going to fail. When we give up too soon, when we don't listen to God, that's number 1. When we are afraid to take risk, when we think we have arrived, and when we set ourselves up for it, that's when we're going to fail. Now, there are a few people that have listened to their inspirational talk, and this gentleman here comes out right on top of the line for me. You all may know him. If not, I need you to Google him and read up on all the inspirational talks that he has given. His name is Les Brown. And he says, have you ever failed at anything? I suggest to you that in the long and tedious journey, called life, if you have never failed at anything, then that's a strong indication that you have never done or learned anything in your entire life. Now, here's what Les Brown has to say. If you want to become the best at what you do, you have got to be willing to fail again and again. And then finally, one day, you can fail your way to greatness. One day you can fail your way to greatness. Some of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears, he also said. So if we are living our fears, then here's what the real problem is. Failure is not the real problem. The real problem is our own fear of failure. So according to Les Brown, he says, we must not be fearful, but rather we should shoot for the moon. And if we miss, we will fall among the stars. Powerful words. Let me repeat it. Shoot for the moon. And if you miss, you will be among the stars. So let's look at two different types of mindsets. The first one I want to look at is the employee mindset. An employee is a person that works at a 9 to 5 shift in many countries. The employee mindset for the working class is when you are trading money for time. It's all money generated from your 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. job. This is called active income. That means that your employer is providing you with opportunities for your growth and development. This type of income is what most of brand ambassadors were accustomed to before joining ONPASSIVE. And some of us seem to be still plugged into this method of thinking and find it hard to let go. With this pattern of mindset, your compensation is always guaranteed. So we love the guaranteed stuff. And we feel very comfortable surviving in this space, week after week. But guess what? As soon as there's a little problem or delay in our ONPASSIVE business, it's like the panic button got pushed and we get nervous. And we need to get rid of that mindset. So here's where we need to be. As business entrepreneur, who we are right now in ONPASSIVE, whether we like to use that term or not, we own our own business. We are entrepreneurs. This is when money starts to work for you instead of you working for money. For example, income you derive from a rental property. This type of earning is called a passive income. Money just flows to you without you working too hard for it, physically. With this mindset, the employer provides the vision, he provides the resources, he provides the infrastructure and direction of the company. This mindset shapes the company's culture. It influences employees' engagement, behavior, and attitude, which ultimately determines the company's success. To be successful in ONPASSIVE, we need to be transformed from an employee mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset. Let me repeat that one. We need to be transformed from an employee to an entrepreneurial mindset. Most of us are having a hard time making this transition. So here's what I'm going to ask you. As of today, I want you to look in the mirror. Just look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are now ready to make that change. So, in order to make that change, we got to have what you call a reset, mind reset. Just like how when O'Connor is not working too accurately, we do a refresh. We got to have a mind reset here. A mind reset involves the clearing of your thoughts and letting go of all negative or stressful thinking patterns derived from the employee mindset that you may be affecting your mental thought process. In plain words, we need to do a mental purge. A mental purge, or as our famous reggae ambassador Bob Marley would say, you got to emancipate yourself from mental slavery to have that mindset. In order to achieve this, it may involve activities such as meditation or seeking therapy or seeking counseling. Now, it's not just as easy to just switch from one to the other, like you turn on the flipping on the switch in your house and the light comes on. To reset the mind, it's not too easy. It cannot be done overnight, as some people may think. It's just like trying to overcome an addiction, such as tobacco or alcohol. It's not a quick fix. It takes time going through the necessary counseling, the necessary therapy, and meditation. But if you stick to it, you'll win it. It's all going to be up to you. It's all going to be up to you, because what it's going to take is self-discipline. And what do we mean by that? Self-discipline is the most important thing for achieving success. A lack of self-discipline will cause failure in almost everything you do in life. You're also going to need to be self-motivated. Nobody's going to motivate you. You got to be self-motivated. Self-motivation is the most important thing for achieving discipline. If you are not internally motivated, you cannot be disciplined. Now, we're going to be moving into what I call the University of Hard Knocks. The University of Hard Knocks is where most of us in business, in our life, Dr. Ford and all the business people here, that's where we have been. This is the university where we are enrolled, and we never graduate from that university until we die. Every living entrepreneur in the world is permanently enrolled as a student in this university. And he will never graduate until he or she dies. Every brand ambassador in ONPASSIVE, including our beloved CEO, Ash Mafari, is a student in this university. People with an entrepreneurial mindset are not afraid of failure. They already know that failure is the cultural way of life in this school, in this university. They already know that failure is never an option at this university, because if you work hard and you're resilient and you stay positive, one day you will fail yourself right into success. We also have our own university right here in ONPASSIVE. It's called ONPASSIVE. Look at all the subjects that we're going to be taking. These are just 9 of them I've picked out. By the time the dust settles, it's going to be about 50 plus. Take a look at this university. All of us are enrolled here. Are you focused in your business? Are you dedicated to being an entrepreneur? Are you just going through the motion? Are you there yet? You're asking those questions. No. Just buckle up, my friends, and study hard. You can't expand your business unless you understand your business. This will be a life-changing opportunity for all of us to lift up humanity and change the world. So, we have our own university here. We got to start studying all of these subjects. Are we studying OMAIL, Academy? Have we read upon them and see what they are? O Bless, O Domain, O Net, O Tracker, O Staff. It's just to name a few. Now, I'm going to introduce you right now to some of the alumni of Hard Knocks. People you might have heard about, but you have never really stopped to think what they went through before they became successful. The very first one I would like to introduce to you is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is said to have failed about 10,000 times before perfecting the electric light bulb. Even though some may be saying it's about 99 times or 999 times or 10,000 times. Imagine if he had just given up the first failure, or even after the first 100 failures. What if he had given up? We would all be still in darkness today. But here's what Thomas Edison said. He said, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That was his attitude. It was a learning experience for him. And so he failed forward. I know we all have the light. Walk in the house and you flip the switch and the light comes on. It's because of this gentleman who failed 10,000 times before it was perfected. Failure is not an option. Let's look at an alumni who failed forward. Walt Disney World, Walt Disney, the gentleman who first put forth the idea of dream. He was once told that the mouse would never ever work. Never ever work. But what did he do? He didn't give up. He ignored all the detractors. Stick with his plan. And today, Walt Disney World net worth and market cap is said to be over $185.51 billion. Now, let's look at another person. The man who, the first time I ever sent I'm a little distracted here. The first time I ever sent a text message was because of this man here, Steve Jobs, the inventor of the iPhone. He was fired at the age of 30 from the company he founded, Apple Computer. He never gave up. Can you imagine that you form a company and it went public, and they turn around and fire you from your own company? He never gave up. What did he do? He went and started other businesses, which attracted Apple to rehire him. This led to the revolution of the smartphone industry with the creation of the iPhone. Right now, I'm up to iPhone 15 Pro Max right now. I love it so much. I'm loving it because of this man. As of May 27, 2024, Apple's net worth was $202,913.17 billion because of this man who never gave up. I bring another person. He's still a student in Hard Knocks. He hasn't graduated yet because the only time you graduate is when you die. Basketball superstar Michael Jordan. This man was cut from his high school basketball team. He went home and locked himself in his closet and cried his heart out. And did he give up? No, he didn't give up. He went back in the basketball court and just started shoot. And then he failed forward and became one of the greatest players in the NBA's history. What a story. As of 2024, Michael Jordan's net worth was estimated to be about $3.2 billion. This man, he never gave up. I wanted to show you another person. Oprah Winfrey. Oh my God. This lady is the queen of talk, philanthropist, business mogul. What an eye-opener, jaw-popping story about this lady. Brilliant woman who owns her own television network. But guess what? Oprah Winfrey was fired from one of her first jobs as a news anchor in Baltimore as being unfit for TV. Unfit for TV. What did she do? Instead of listening to all her detractors, she had a mind reset and resilience to fail forward. Today, Oprah's net worth is over $3 billion. So, listen to what Oprah has to say. This thing is moving too fast for me. Listen to what Oprah Winfrey has to say. What made her so successful? Always be authentic, she says. Take risk. Thrive on challenges. Always do your best. Go with your gut. Learn from failure. Share your personal story. Don't worry about your competitors. Learn to help others. Follow your passion, not the money. Be grateful. And here's my favorite one. Keep good company. Keep good company. That's what Oprah had to say. Now, I'm going to take you to my own personal story. I was born in Jamaica, migrated to New York. And while I was there, I used to work with kids in Jamaica. I was a trained school teacher there. Went to New York, and I still want to work with kids, but I found the kids, they're a little too much for me to deal with. Because, I'm a disciplinarian. And I think, that profession was not for me. But I worked with kids for a while, and one day that was not really my passion. I hated that job. So one day I said to myself, I'm going to try something else. So I quit my job, and I accepted a sales position to go do sales on a commission basis only, meaning that there's no guaranteed paycheck. When I went home and told my wife that, oh man, she went berserk. How can you do that? You mean on Monday morning, you start from zero and you have to make up your own paycheck come Friday? Yes. But I was determined that I was no longer going to be working with in the profession I was in before. And so I do a re-mindset. And I went out there. And let me tell you, that first year, I fell flat on my face. I fell flat on my face. My salary got cut in half. I fell behind in my bills. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I didn't know if I should go back to the other job. But I said, no, I'm going to push on. And I pushed on. And I spent, second year, it got a little better. Third year, it got real better. And I spent 5 years in that company working straight commission. I was able to save enough money to open my own restaurant business in New York. That's a short piece of my story. The longer version of it, which I'm not going to go into right now. But this is what life is all about. You have to be resilient. You have to be positive, and you have to fail forward, because failure is not an option. So, what are the moral of these stories? The moral of these stories that I've just brought to you is that keep your dreams alive, number one, and never give up. Fail your way into success. Never give up. If you think you can, you can. Never give up. So, I have a little trivia for my friends in Singapore. I have a little trivia for you here. Did you know that the compact data storage from floppy disk to USB thumb drive was invented in Singapore? Yes. Did you know that the infrared fever screening system was invented in Singapore? Yes. The cardiovascular stent was invented in Singapore. The stent that most people with heart problems are having was invented in Singapore. The DNA sequencing machine was invented in Singapore. The infertility helper to enhance the chances of conceiving children was also invented in Singapore. I want you to go and take a look at these things and find out how easy it was for this to be done. It takes years for this to be done. So, before I conclude, I would love to leave you with a video. I'm going to play 3 clips from this video. And I want you to listen very intently, very clearly at what is going to happen right now. Take a listen as it comes up.
Most people don't reach their dream, not because of failure. Most people don't live their dream because they give up. You see, it's not the failure that stops us, but that most stop at their first failure. Those who succeed don't stop at 1 failure. They don't stop at 10 failures. They don't stop at 100, 1,000, or 1,000,000. They say, this is my goal, and I will do whatever it takes to achieve it. I will learn the lessons from any failures. I will learn faster. I will work harder. I will work smarter. And I will not quit until my dream is a reality. That's the difference between success and failure.
Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out, you're actually seeking failure. You want to take your muscles to the point where you get to failure, because that's where the adaptation is. That's where growth is. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed. They extract the lessons from the failure, and they use that, the energy, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase of success. You gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You gotta live where you're almost certain you're gonna fail. The reason for practice is controlled failure. You're getting to your limit, getting to your limit, getting to your limit. You can't lift that, you can't do that, until you get to the point that all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment, and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you to recognize the areas where you need to evolve. So fail early, fail often, fail forward.
Failure makes winners strong. Failure makes winners hungry. But it makes most give up. It makes most feel worthless. Winners don't enjoy failure, but they would never let failure stop them. Next time you encounter failure, you got to remember every great thing on this planet is here because the Creator learned what did work. When we are kids, we don't stop at failure. When we first learn to ride a bike, it's failure after failure. We get knocked down time after time, but we get up and push forward until we achieve our goal of riding the bike. But then we get older, and most of us get weak. We are too soft to get back on the bike. We come up with excuses. It must not be for me. No, you just soft. No, you just lazy. Tell yourself the truth. Get back on the bike. Learn why you failed, and make sure you don't fall again. Make sure you are stronger for having the lesson.
You know, it's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Fail early, fail often, fail forward.
You're here right now at this moment because tomorrow you want to be somebody greater than the person you are today. You see yourself succeeding, you have a vision, you have a dream. Congratulations. You're already 10 steps ahead of 95% of the world. Imagine if Michael Jordan was scared of missing. He would have never taken a shot. Imagine if Steve Jobs was afraid of people not liking his product. There would be no iPhone. So ask yourself this. Do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who loves success? Which one? You're going to have to pick today. And I'll tell you one thing. One is a failure, and one is a success. And if you love success, there is nothing that can stop you. All those negative things people say will mean nothing. They're going to talk about how only 1% make it to the top. Big deal. Want to know something else? Only 1% stick with that fitness program long enough to see results. Only 1% of nerds stick with that video game long enough to get good at it. Only 1% of relationships stick it out to the end. That doesn't mean you have a 1% chance. It just means you can't behave like the 99%. You'll have to do something better than giving up a month from now. Those are just numbers. You want to talk about numbers? Take a look around you and take a good look around you. Are you like 99% of the people around you? If you are, then you're in the wrong video, my friend. You have to love success just as much because that's going to allow you to get up and go for it. Being scared to fail won't do anything. In fact, when you love success and you start going for it, guess what happens? You're going to fail. You're going to fail 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times. But that's okay. Failure isn't permanent. Falling isn't permanent. You get right back up and keep going. And this time, you're going to be stronger, wiser, and you'll be more driven than ever. And for every 10 failures, you'll land one success. You have to love success so much that you're willing to fail 10 times before you can succeed once. That's how a winner does it.
Okay. Wow. That's how a winner does it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Brother Vittel. Was powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I know you've done a lot of homework to share this with us. Thank you so much. And I saw Brother John's hand. Brother John, over to you, Brother John.
Thank you. As usual, get that hand up quick, John. I always like to be one of the first to say something because that's what I do. But anyway, I'd just like to say again, I find myself, first of all, thank you, Vittel. Very excellent presentation. very straightforward, very simple to listen to and understand. For myself, it seems like, especially lately, whether it's Vittel or Dr. Ford or Dr. Derek, or, especially on here and in other places, I seem to identify, and I actually mentioned before on here when I come on to say something, that, I kind of, this is something that I can identify with because I've dealt with this, most of my life, and even recently with what we're going through. But I have to say, because of presentations like this and some of the former that I have heard, that I'm doing pretty well. I'm learning to fail forward, as we just saw towards the end there. It's helping me a lot I still fail. I mean, I'm an older guy. I've been around a long time. I've done a lot of things, and I'm in something. If you're in my profession, you just, it has nothing to do with me personally. You're going to fail a lot. It's just the way it happens. But you have to make sure, if you're an actor in particular, or anything in show business, you must fail forward. You must fail forward. There we had the examples of not just Oprah Winfrey, even though she took a while to get into show business. What did she end up doing? I mean, she had those first experiences. I've known about all this, and some of the people we heard about today. I know about all of them. I know about all of their failures, even from the beginnings, and where they went to as their life went on. And Oprah's a great example, especially for someone as an actor, because what did Oprah do? She went beyond that situation where she was involved with news or as a broadcaster or anything like that. And then she went into her talk show, but she went beyond all of that because she ended up being a really superb film and stage. She hasn't done as much on stage, but film actor. And that's an incredible thing. So I really can look to someone like that and be inspired and continue, even as an old dude, to fail forward for whatever I do in the future. And that's all I'm going to say. And thank you very much again, Vittel.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother John. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I see Sister Antoinette's hand. Sister Antoinette, over to you.
Wonderful presentation. Very inspiring. Very encouraging. I'm a business owner as well, and I'm on the board at Your Own Uniqueness Incorporated, Dr. T's organization, and very encouraging. And I was just thinking about, even, as I was going on, I publish books. My company is a publishing company, and I was thinking about when I first started out and everything, and I had a class, and they were giving examples of people who, quote unquote, failed forward. And Tom Clancy was one. The writer of Gone with the Wind, he had to publish his own book. and they still didn't pay attention until years and years later. The writer of Holes, and for the movie, and how he was determined. 10 years later, he wrote the book and was satisfied with just that, and God opened a door for him. And so, very encouraging presentation and inspiring. And so I'm going to keep pressing forward too. And I just had to say thank you for giving us that information and encouragement, Brother Vittel.
Thank you, Sister Antoinette. I see Dr. Mundi's, Yvonne Mundi's hand up, and then after that, Dr. T. Dr. Mundi, Yvonne Mundi. Hi. You are muted.
Unmute, Yvonne. Unmute.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it?
Is
okay.
That okay?
Yes, good.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Good morning from my end to everyone. And I'm glad to be back here again this week and to really enjoy what we are doing here, because this is academy. Real education is right here, where we all contribute according to our own way and pace and worldview, which is very, very good. Something that we want for our children. So thank you so much, Brother Vittel, for that simple but really great presentation, and I'm glad that you're going to be taking it all over. I think this Friday or next Friday. He's going to be bringing it to One Global Movement. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing for ONPASSIVE and to all of us here, because we are founders. You know, I love this topic a lot because as a child, especially children, they think failure is the end of the world, and I, as a child, I thought so as well. But thank God I had a very good grandmother who was loving, who was my first mentor. And a lot of times I will fail, and she would tell me, fail your way to success, because failure is part of success, because that is the way the God created all of us. And even if people laugh at you, still don't worry too much about it. It's going to pinch a little bit, but make sure you keep doing it, because you can never get anything right just the first time. And even if you get it right the first time, you have not really taken the time to build a solid foundation for that thing to be successful. So you go back there and do it and do it and do it again. You take that failure as a learning curve and just keep doing it, because if you see the great people around the world, they have failed and failed and failed, and they refuse to give up because they understand the concept that failure is part of success. So, and she told me, uh, lessons. My grandmother said, lessons, not failure, not fear, and definitely not regret. And I've carried those lessons with me all through, because sometimes it can be difficult when you fail, considering that you use a lot of resources to do something, and in the end it doesn't. But those things will come back 10 million fold. And I'm so happy the examples that Brother Smart cited, like Michael Jordan. He took that as a challenge and said, you know what? I am going to be one of the best basketball players. And he did. There is something that happened. Look at Steve Jobs, a lot of other people. How do we run 1,000 miles? One step at a time. Sometimes you even fail on your track, and you still have to pick up yourself back up and do it. I have failed a lot of times, even in publication. Antoinette, I am your friend here. In publication, I am a full-time published international published author, but I was crying because I didn't think that publishing was that hard. And I started crying, and they were encouraging me, no, you can do this, you can do this. I didn't know that there was a particular way to do that, and I did it. But I'm still failing till today, because I have understand that failure is part of success. So now, coming from this generation now, we need to teach our children, because our children really carry it so much on themselves, and they become overwhelmed. They think, oh, you are a failure, you're a loser. We need to uh, really normalize failure, because failure is part of success. There is no way that we're going to succeed in this life without failing. Look at Mr. Ash Mufara and the building team. Those products are not easy. They fail, they do it, they fail, they do it, and they're moving forward. So thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. I really love it. And we're going to be just welcoming you in One Global Movement to continue to spread this to the world. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yvonne, indeed. Okay, next we have Dr. Tunishai.
Right. Thank you so much. Brother Vittel, excellent presentation. You already knew that going in. Excellent presentation.
Yes.
And I just want to say this, all the people that you named that fell forward, the Steve Jobs, Oprah, Michael Jordan, Walt Disney, they had something that many people don't have. And that was a dream, a vision. And I think that's one of the main reasons why you see all the catastrophic things going on in the world. Because we have a lot of people who don't dream. I think I believe it was on this platform I did the topic on dream bigger. I believe it was here. So some people don't even have a dream. They don't have a vision. So it's very hard to get into a mode of even trying to. Their failure is permanent. It's an eternal failure because they haven't even gotten in the game yet. They haven't even gotten in the game. And that's the thing that I'm working on right now with our program that Tony's a part of. We have a program called Step Up. And I know we're always talking about that, but it's my baby because I started years ago working with youth. And I'm training them at a early age, Brother Vittel, because at that age, they don't have all the garbage in their lives. At least they shouldn't anyway. They haven't gone through the school of hard knocks yet. So they're kind of fresh at this whole life thing. So I try to give them while they still have a passion. Some of them are dreaming, they just don't know how to bring the dream to fruition. And we give them the how. We take their passion and we show them to take that and make it into an entrepreneur venture. That's what we do. So I just wanted to say that, that it was an excellent presentation. Yes. And I believe that many people who fail in terms of failing forward are people who don't dream. This is my motto. I've always said this. I hope it makes sense to you when I'm getting ready to say. I may be afraid of success, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Mm-hmm. Let me say that one again. I may be afraid of success because sometimes pursuing success is fearful. It's very fearful pursuing success. It really is. But I, Dr. T, wouldn't have it any other way. I must be successful. And like you said, Brother Vittel, I have not arrived yet. As long as I'm on this earth, it's always a journey. It's not a destination, it's a journey. You're always learning, you're evolving, you're growing, you cry, you get mad, you become bitter sometimes. But all those things are just obstacles that we turn into stepping stones. And we learn from them, and we grow from them, and we become more authentic from them. And we learn to be people of integrity, to be true to ourselves. And then one of the things that Oprah Winfrey said, one of the last things that you pointed out was talking about the people that are around you. We must surround ourselves with people of like mind. Because that could be one of the largest hindrances of our lives. If we are not around the right people, it's just like that story that was told about the eagle that egg accidentally fell out of the nest and it was raised by chicken. But when it hatched, it was raised by chicken, and it's going along on the floor, on the ground. It felt on the inside a little different. It would look up in the sky, and it would see all these eagles flying, and they were just soaring, and they were so majestic. And then the eagle looked at themselves and said, I look like them, but why am I down here? And the chickens told him, oh, you're one of us and everything. Don't worry about what they're doing up there. Stay down here with us and be content. And the story was the poor little eagle, it died, never realized its potential. Why? Because it was around the wrong environment. It was around the wrong type of element. It was around the wrong type of people, or should I say animal, that did not give them the insight on how to soar. And many of us are around people who do not show us or give us incentive to soar. So I want to just encourage everyone, on this platform as well. Not only is it important for you to learn to fail forward, but it's also important that we surround ourselves with the people that God has ordained us to be around so that we can go forth and truly do what God has called us to do. So that's what I wanted to share this morning. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you for your sharing. Okay, do I see any other hands? I see Brother Raj. Yes, Brother Raj, your hand is up. Over to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sister Jeanita, inviting me. Wow. What a great sensational, oh my goodness, powerful, bombastic, just like dynamite. It was completely exploding, okay? First of all, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Galactic Intellectual. What a great session today. We have witnessed completely rocking. I was just like dancing in each and every video. It was creating a huge energy, just like a, supernova explosion. Because, first of all, when you talk about the great success, a great example of never give up, sister, your country, yes, Singapore, you know, this is one of the best example of never give up. The rise of Singapore, a global powerhouse, it indeed remarkable center for the world. Singapore has no any abundant natural resources, but the transformation of Singapore is turning power for the world. How this is possible? The great mindset of, innovative mindset of, Lee Kuan Yew, not a massive jugglery personality. He changed the scene of Singapore with a tremendous mindset. This is example of never give up. Yes. Leona Messi, oh my goodness. He has a dream to become, champion. He was the captain of Argentina, and Argentina won the Football World Cup 2022 in his spearhead. Lionel wins Messi, you know, that was the power of never give up. J.K. Rowling, why I'm giving such example? Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. She was failed many times, but still she won. That's the remarkable power of never give up. And today, Mr. Vittel Smartser, a really perform splendid powerhouse, a sensational and awesome season. The power of fear of failure, my dear friends. Yes, it doesn't matter how many times you fell down. It doesn't matter. It's matter how many times you are rising up and taking one idea. Yes, I can do it. Just like Barack Obama. Yes, Barack Obama, my dear friends. Mother Teresa, they are exemplary for the world. They are the great source of inspiration. Because once upon a time, Barack Obama said, the future reward those who press on. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I am going to press on. This is great statement of Barack Obama. Yes, Jack Ma, incredible, CEO of Alibaba. He said, never give up. Today is hard. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse. But day after tomorrow will be sunshine for you. You can win. So this is a massive power of never give up. If you want to create a history, my dear friends, in the world, just give the best example is on passive. Our seer, he's a man of incredible personality. He's a man of the earth angel. What he is doing for the work, this is a massive challenge. But he is facing all the hell. And he believed in what? Never give up. And he is accomplishing the target. He is doing what? Brainstorming ideas. And he is nailing each and everything. That is why on passive we're going to shop all over the world. That's the beauty of never give up, my dear friends. What a great example shown by Mr. Vittel Smart sir about I just I was so appealing to hear about Thomas Alva Edison. What the best example? 10,000 times failed in the invention of bulb. Finally, he gave the breakthrough of the world. After that, we have seen the transformation of bulb to light LED. We are talking about most advanced form. What I am saying that if you are determined, if you are resilient, if you are perseverance, if you have iron will, it can it can surmount any challenge in the world. Even you can go the zenith of the Mount Everest. Even you can go digger in Mariana Trench. This is the power of never give up. What you have seen, the biggest breakthrough in the world in a sports sector. Yes, he gave the example of Jordan. Oh my God, the basketball player, and even the Thomas Alva Edison, Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking. I am giving the best example. Who just gave a wonderful discovery of black hole. What does it show? That they believe in never give up. What happens? What happens when you are chasing your target? Your mind says, tired, burn out. But your heart says, burn out, give up, give up, give up. But you can't give up because your subconscious mindset said you are the person who who can deliver. Okay, why you can give up? Because you have not fulfilled your target. You have not achieved the target. Okay, what does it show? It shows that you are the unique. You have the huge potential, just like Mr. Asmu Farab he is doing to empower the global humanity. That is why he's on the right path, and he's going to do blast. This is a tsunami of financial power, my dear friends. This is not easy task. How this is possible? We are going to change the scene of the world. We are going to change. We are going to reshape the planet. We are going to do wonderful oblast for global humanity. How this is possible? With the power of never give up. That is why I am saying that when you are chasing a target, substances creating challenges for you, but never give up. Never be timid. Always bold in action. Okay, be pragmatic. Be steward. Be champion. Be ex-naval in your work, my dear friends. Indomitable character. One day you will be invincible forever. How this is possible? This is power of never give up. Thank you so much. Today, first of all, I hats off Singapore or Malaysia global webinar. All the great teams, Mr. Jeannie Tan's sister and Marvel Chen's sister were always awesome. Florence and Fetio's sister and Mr. Kumaran sir, all in each and every one. That was really fabulous session. I love it all the way. Just keep rocking all the times. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Raj. Thank you for your sharing.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Kumaran. Okay, so if there is no other hands, then I would like to call upon Brother Vittel to help us close. Brother Vittel, would you like to share with us some short summary to close?
Yes, thank you very much, Sister Jeannie. It was indeed a pleasure being here at this wonderful webinar today. The failure is something that, you know, we should never even foster in our mind too long, because for you to make it in life, you have to fail a lot of times before you can get there. The great boxing champion Muhammad Ali, he once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life like a champion." Okay. And so we have to start with our young children, with our kids. And my little granddaughter, if I may use her as an example, you know, she's into track and field now, and she told me she wants to be an Olympian one of these days. She's 11 years old. And she had her first test last week, and she came up short. And this is what I sent to her. I'm going to read it. I said, you did very well, my dear. Success doesn't come overnight. It takes time, patience, and self-discipline. This is just the beginning, which is a learning experience for you. Next time you will do much better. Keep your head high, keep smiling, and stay motivated. And so we got to start with the kids from at a very young age. Dr. Tanisha Ford has said, Dr. Yvonne Mundy have said, we got to start to mold them from an early age. Not to allow failure to be a part of the mental mantra. And so it was, to me, a simple presentation, but something I want to be indelible in everybody's minds, all the brand ambassadors' minds, that this journey that we are on is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we just got to calm ourselves down, and and every time you stumble, you just fail forward, stumble forward, and we'll be successful. And thank you very much for always a pleasure being here, Sister Jeannie. You've always welcomed with an open heart and open hands and show me love and appreciation, and I respect you for that. I love this forum, and I hope I come back again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Vittel. Thank you so much. Did someone say something? Did I hear somebody? No? Okay. Then it's 10:26. So with that, we would like to close early tonight. So a very good night and good morning to everyone. And thank you for coming here. And we look forward to see you again next Thursday. See you.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good morning. Good day. Bye.
Have a blessed week.
God
The rest of
bless
your week. Enjoy the
God
rest of
bless.
your week. Bye-bye.